How is everyone? It's 10 o'clock as usual, bang on time. Archie's in the house. Archie, good to see you. We're just going to give people a few minutes to join. As always, if you're watching this on the replay, thank you so much to you for watching on the replay as well. You won't be able to comment, like you can see all these people joining. Comment Nina, I saw Hitesh join then, Barvu's here, hey Archie. But you can still show your digital applause by tapping on the screen every time you hear something that you think is good or you agree with. Good evening. How are we doing, Hitesh? Rooty Toots has joined as well. So let's give people a few minutes to join, guys. So what have people been up to over the weekend? Last time I did a scope was Friday night. It was Friday Night Book Club. We were looking at this book, Carol Dweck's Mindset. Awesome book. We're going to be looking at it this coming Friday as well. So if you've not got it, get yourself a copy off Amazon. It's about £8, I think, £9. Awesome. Change your life. So let us know what you've been doing and how's today been. I'm having a coffee. I've got a bit of a bad throat and I've got a big voiceover coming up in a couple of days. For those who don't know me, by the way, if you're tuning in for the first time, type new and give me your name and where you're from. My name's Ross. If you don't know me, I'm an actor and a voiceover artist from Manchester here in the UK, and I am fascinated by mindset and positivity and motivation and everything that kind of just makes successful people more and more successful, basically, and we analyse that on these nightly periscopes. We go through various aspects of life in general. Some things, you know, will relate to career in terms of my acting career, and other people who follow me are actors as well, but the majority of it applies to everybody, regardless of what you do as a job. It really doesn't matter. So tonight we're looking at charisma and likability. Just been to New Oxford branch equity meeting. All right, Rooty Toot Toots, how did that go for you? Equity meetings are always interesting, aren't they? You get a crazy bunch of people. Girly Whirly's here. Sarita, hello to you. Yeah, equity meetings, if you're an actor, are an interesting kind of meeting. You get a lot of variety of people there, shall we say. Some happy to be there, some not very happy to be there. A lot of complaining. Let us know how it went tonight, Rooty Toot Toots, whether you had a fun meeting or one where everybody whinged about the industry. Amundo, how are we doing? So yeah, if you're new, there's quite a few new people joined tonight. Put new and tell me where you're from. It'd be nice to know where you are. Friend's 30th weekend just gone. I think the parents were causing far more trouble than we were. I've just been to a brothel. All right, excellent, good for you. Hope it was a legal one. Illegal, that is, not illegal. Goodish. Me and Ian McKellen was there. Awesome. Just sorted out my voiceover reel. Now to get the VO agent. Wicked, Nina. Brilliant. And yeah, I hope that email I sent you about voiceover kind of helped you. I know Gemma's on here tonight, Gemma Green. Got her booked in for a voice reel later this week. If you are a voice artist or you're an actor with a voice reel, I've been doing voiceover for 11 years and you want any critique, tweet me. It's at Ross A. Grant and I'll have a look at your reel for you. And I've heard literally thousands over the years and I make them now professionally for people as a living. So Nina says my help did help, so cheers Nina, that's all right, pleasure. So let me know if you ever need any help. So tonight, guys, do you know what? Do you know how this topic came about? Okay, I was talking to a director, Chris Stone, earlier, who we were talking. He comes on these scopes, and we were talking about X Factor last night. 5:30 AM call tomorrow, says Ruth. Right, we'll make this quick for you then, Ruth, because you've got to get to bed. Ross is the best in the business, says Archie, with anything voiceover related. Thank you, Archie. Appreciate that. Who watched X Factor last night in the UK? Or who's, you know, if you're in the US and you're tuning in, maybe you've got, like, you know, X Factor America or Pop Idol USA or whatever. Right. The interesting thing for me, give me some hearts, right, if you agree with this. About X Factor last night. The people who I wanted to go through and get one of those 6 chairs weren't necessarily the most talented people that were there. Sometimes it came down to charisma and likability. There was one guy who was amazing and had both, though, talent, charisma and likability, who I can't remember his name. He was the black guy who was he was older, had a dicky bow on, was awesome. Heart it up for him. I loved him. I thought he was brilliant. It was oh God, what's his name? I can't remember his name. What's it like? Anton, there you go. Anton. Yeah, he was awesome. He was wicked. But it wasn't, you know, he could have sung, because he did his little intro, where he was so likeable and he had such a good crack with Simon Cowell, because Simon Cowell said, oh, I don't like the way you move your face when you sing. And he said, Simon, you know, in a world where you're surrounded by Botox, because Simon Cowell has been reported he has Botox, you know, not many people can move their face. He goes, when you're from where I'm from, I can't afford Botox. We tend to move our faces. And I thought he was brilliant. And I thought, these are the kind of guys who are instantly likeable. And it's the same in the acting industry and just in life. There are some things about some people that make them charismatic and instantly likeable. And this is what I was talking to Chris Stone about before, the director, and we were trying to come up with the things that we think, that through our experience in the acting industry, and when Chris auditions people for his films, and I sit in on a lot of auditions with casting directors, I'll read in opposite the people who are auditioning so that they've got an actor to bounce off within the scene and that kind of thing. And I see some people come into the room and do an amazing job, and I see some people come into the room and their character lets them down. Didn't see it, but selling a song with charisma makes a difference. Yeah, absolutely, massively. I see some people whose talent gets them into the room, but their character cannot keep them there. And this is what I think can happen with a lot of actors. They can be talented, and you can, you can get yourself so far, but your talent can sometimes take you further than your character can keep you. Ruth's lost connection. Hopefully everyone else has got the connection. Let me know what my picture and connection is like. Hopefully it's all right. I've got a good Wi-Fi signal here, but some nights I notice myself when I do the recording that the quality of the picture sometimes isn't as great as it does other nights. I talk too much during audition. Sam lost it too. Have you got it? Have you got it now, Sam? It might have just popped off for a minute. It's saying I'm still live. Everything looks good from my end, so hopefully it is. And all of these scopes get recorded, by the way. So if you ever want to go back and watch a bit more of this, then you can go to actsonthis.tv, which is a website I run. Click on Periscope and watch all the replays there as well. What do I always remind you to do? Kim, you remind me to plug it in, and I've plugged the USB charger in, so we ain't going to go anywhere tonight. Now, guys, these things that I'm talking about that me and Chris came up with before, I just want to tell you now, are incredibly simple, right? This isn't going to be information that's new to you, but it is sometimes the very simplest things that that we have in our lives that we forget the most often. So Kim, you forgot to tell me to plug the the charger in. We often forget the simplest things, so this won't be new, but I want to remind you, particularly if you've got an audition coming up this week, this stuff can probably be useful to you. So slides are back, guys. Here we go. We've got 3 secrets for instant likability and cracking charisma. Cracking, if you're not from the UK or the North, is a word that we use up north to go, oh, it's cracking that's good. But I don't mean it's literally going to crack anything. It's just really good charisma. What's the most important gift you can give to somebody, people, before we start? It all ties into secret number 1. See if you can tell me what you think it is. When someone says the most important thing you can give to someone is your what? What do you think it is? Give me some suggestions. Time. We've got off route toots. Cracking is a great word, says Kim. Okay, so what else can we give people that's the most important thing we give people? It says time, attention. Boom, Gemma Green has got it. Okay, it's not your time, okay? It isn't your time, it's your presence, and it's a very, very different thing, okay? So I could often go for a brew with somebody, and we're so hyper-connected that, I see this all the time, and it just literally will make me laugh out loud sometimes, where I'll be sat in Starbucks, and I'll see a couple, a man and a woman, they're clearly together in a relationship, and yet they're sat opposite each other on their phones, doing something completely unrelated to what they're talking about. You can go out with people, whether it's your partner or whether it's for business or whatever, or your friends, and you can give them your time. But if you're not giving them your presence, you might as well not be there. It's just not going to work. Okay, if your head is away in the clouds and you're thinking about what you've got to do after that meeting or what you've just done, and you're not present and you can't take part in that conversation and be in the moment, then you're really doing that other person that you're with a disservice. So secret number 1, okay, to having charisma and likability, without a doubt, and some of the best conversations I've ever had with people have been over coffees. I went out with Lee Boardman last week, the actor Lee Boardman, who's going to do a broadcast with me this Thursday night on actsonthis.tv. Great actor, had loads of success. We said we would meet up for 30 minutes for a coffee. We spent 3.5 hours chatting, and it was one of the most deepest conversations. But the guy is just oozing charisma and likability, and that's what what made me want to stay for 3.5 hours having a brew. So, number 1, be present. Okay, do you notice that when you talk to charismatic people, you feel like you're the only person in the room? This is exactly how I feel when I'm speaking to people like that. This is because they're insanely attentive and they make you feel important. So I know, Neely, you said attention, someone else said attention there's been an important thing to give someone. There are two types of people in the world, guys. Let's see which one you think you are. There's those people who walk into a room and say, I'm here, and there's those people who walk into the room and say, you're here. Okay, the first person is in their head wondering what to say next and how they're being perceived. The latter is in the moment. They are present and engaged, and that's why people describe them by saying, oh, he just has a presence about him. How many times have you heard that? Give me some hearts if you've heard people say that, or you've said that about somebody. You go, I don't know what it is about this guy or this girl. They've just got a presence about them. They walk into the room and they light it up. You know, and that's that person who walks into the room and says, you're here. You know, it's not that, look, I'm here, how can I entertain everybody, how can I be dead funny and great? They go in the room and some of the most confident and most successful people I've ever met in my life have this quiet confidence about them that's unshakable, and you'll be talking to them and they don't want to talk about themselves. They're more interested in you, and they're like, no, tell me about you. What do you want to do, or what are you doing? And they'll talk about themselves. Of course, it would be very boring if you just talked about it. They just made you talk about yourself. But they're more interested in other people than they are in themselves. And these are the people who are present, who will look you in the eye when they're talking to you, and you know, and will give you their full attention. And if you're in an audition situation and you're going in to meet the casting director and the director, you need to be that second person, really. I think a lot of actors fall into the notion of, I have to go in there, jazz hands, smiling, going, woo, you know, kind of look at me, as opposed to the ones who really engage me when I'm, well, not engage me because they're not talking to me, but when I'm working with a casting director and they're talking to the casting director and the director and the producer of the project, I can see, you know, the director and the producer really perking up and like coming to life when this actor is actually talking about them and the project as a whole and that kind of thing. It's not talking for talking's sake, because a lot of people can do that and they get nervous and they just talk about anything. But if you've got something really great to say that's relevant to the project and to those people, it's going to make those people feel that you're saying you're here. It's not, this audition isn't all about me, it's a collaborative project that we're all after the same goal. I think it can make a massive, massive difference. But being present is a huge part of that. So secret number one to likability and being charismatic and having charisma is definitely be present. And the next time you go out with your you know, with your mates or whatever in Starbucks, something like that, be present. I'll show you how you can do that now. How can we be present in conversation? So the most valuable thing you can give to someone, we said this, is not your time, it's your presence. Okay, observe your mind like a parent watching over a playground. So if anyone who's got kids, if you're taking your kid to the park, I took my nephew to the park, it's one of the most nerve-wracking things I've ever done in my life, because I'm literally going, you go and play on the swings, and I just can't take my eye off him at all. I'm completely paranoid someone's going to kidnap him or something like that. Catch yourself if your mind is not focused on the conversation and the other person. If your mind is wandering, draw your mind back to the conversation. Who's said to somebody in the last week or so, when you've been talking to them, what did I just say? You didn't hear that, did you? Because someone's just gone, yeah, and they weren't really listening, and then you can catch them out on it, and you go, what did I just say? And they haven't got a clue. Teachers do it all the time. Put your phone face down on the table. This doesn't apply to an audition because you wouldn't have it in with the audition with you. But if you're going out for a brew, don't put it in your pocket because you'll feel it vibrating. It's going to take you out of the moment. Okay, Chris says, yeah, he's not even listening. You're not even listening to me, Chris. Put your phone face down on the table. Visualize what the person is saying in your mind to stay present. Okay, what you think in your mind, and this is the thing where people will catch you out, dictates your verbal and non-verbal cues. Okay, since you're treating them like they're the only person in the room, you know, your charisma will shine through intensely. What do you say, Ross? Well, luckily for you, Chris, there's a recording of this Periscope, so you can just watch it on the recording stuff. So that's how we stay present. Okay, you know, you focus. Ruth's listening, awesome. So yeah, you know, as I'm talking or whatever, as we're having this conversation now, you know, if I'm saying put your phone down on the table when you go for a brew in Starbucks, visualize that. So you're staying with me. You know, as I say, put your phone down. Imagine that now, you're putting your phone down. So you can see it in your mind. It means your mind is occupied with what's going on in front of you, and it can't wander off somewhere else. And you're not thinking, oh God, I've left the washing machine on, or oh no, I'm not taking this out, or you know, whatever. Stay present. Okay, it's super, super important. Secret number 2. This is what me and Chris came up with as well. Listen. Okay, and again, this is, you know, this is not completely groundbreaking stuff, guys. It's obvious, but it's so important. Our society has become so obsessed with broadcasting our own thoughts and emotions that we forget to acknowledge others' sentiments, okay? Did you know, this was and I'll link to the study that I've read about this, you spend 60% of your time on average listening, yet we only retain 25% of what we hear. You know, so this scope, you're going to spend this hour, well, it's not an hour, we're going to spend, what, I don't know, 30 minutes, 35 minutes? You're going to spend all this time listening, but there's a chance that if you're not taking us in, you're only going to remember 25% of this. You know, if you really are present, you can remember up to 70%. People don't generally retain 100% of the information they hear, it's just impossible. But you can retain information up to around about 70-75% of what you're hearing. One of the easiest ways to make people feel good, and this is where your charisma is going to shine through, guys, is to show that you're listening. People love talking about themselves, okay? Harvard scientists studied the human brain while subjects talked about themselves and learned that self-disclosure, in terms of talking about yourself, triggers the pleasure center of the brain, the same areas that are triggered by alcohol, sugar, and even sex. Okay, so the next time you want to be charismatic, shut up and listen. Listen to that other person. We love it as human beings. We love talking about ourselves, and like I say, that's why those people who we are drawn to and go, oh my goodness, there's such a presence about them, they're so charismatic, are those people who walk into the room and say, you're here. No, I'm not here, you're here, and I want to hear about you. You know, and that makes us just naturally drawn to them, because like, wow, they're just something different. Who's met like a girl or a boy for the first time and gone, I don't know what it is, we just had a connection. They just, you know, she just like, we just talked for ages, listened about all this stuff. Because it's not just a one-sided conversation. It's how you can get lost in each other. And it feels good. It really opens up that pleasure center in our mind. So if you're going into an audition, it's lovely to not over-egg it and suck up to the director and the producer, but if you can maybe mention another project a director's done and said, oh, I was a really, really big fan of that project, you're Son Judge Your Body who did thingy, whatever that is, it's going to make them feel instantly great, and they will sit up. I've seen it, I promise you. Chris agrees with me as well. I've seen this happen though. They will sit up. If I went in for an audition with Chris and I hadn't done Year of Spies, I went, oh, Chris, yeah, Year of Spies. I saw January. That was the episode I was in. Oh, it's a really, really great episode. It was brilliant. And I also, I know, didn't you do Blood and Bone China as well? Chris instantly is going to go, wow, this person not only has done their homework, knows who they're talking to, but actually flattery does get you everywhere sometimes. Not over flattery, not over sucking up, but if you can mention a couple of things that are nice about that person, that are personal, it's really nice, and it will activate that pleasure center of their brain. So be present first of all and listen. Wow, he's done his own work, says Chris. Yeah, be present and listen, and then yeah, that's number 2 is listen. So be present, listen. Number 3. This is one that we discussed for a minute and was going, how do we kind of get this in? I think I've kind of done this, Chris. I've written a couple of slides up for this one. But you can gain somebody's trust, and I hope I've gained your trust from the regulars who are on this Periscope through being authentic and also getting personal. So sometimes I've spoken on these scopes about some really personal things in my life that I don't really mention very often at all, but it really will gain somebody's trust, and vulnerability is a big part of that as well, and sometimes being vulnerable is a really powerful emotion to show in every walk of life, you know, at audition or just wherever. It will really help you gain trust from the people around you. So secret number 3, gain trust by getting personal. Okay, conversations are two-way streets. Although it's great to listen, you can't solely rely on the other person to hold the entire conversation. That would just be awkward, just be a bit weird, wouldn't it? There are also times where you may want to establish trust or take the conversation to a deeper level. You can achieve all of these things by sharing something personal about yourself. Okay, use the conversation at hand to squeeze an I statement in, where you share an experience or story that you can both relate to. Okay, if you're an actor, you know, with a mutual friend in the business, you could say, oh, X, that's the person. Oh, Chris said, you had a great time working on that thing together. He said he learned so much. So you can crowbar in, that you kind of know somebody else and you've both got a common ground. It's especially effective if you're sharing something, you wouldn't necessarily do this in audition, this is probably just for more like everyday life and making contacts, but it's especially effective if you're sharing something that strongly resonates with your conversation partner. For example, you both overcame a similar struggle, okay? This could even be something away from your career, like a tough breakup or the loss of a family member. You know, it's maybe relevant to the project that you're talking about. If we are putting in an audition environment, if it's relevant to the project. If you've got an illness that's, you know, that someone else has got through or you've both been through and it relates to your character, you know, it's going to resonate with, you know, really strongly with somebody. You can also preface your I statements to show that you're sharing something really personal. You can use phrases like, I haven't told many people this. I just did that a minute ago without even thinking when I was talking about things that I've spoken about in these scopes, but that's true. Or I usually don't tell people, I just met this, but I feel like I can trust you. You know, this helps establish trust and goodwill, which will likely be reciprocated. Showing vulnerability can make you relatable, which in turn will make you likable and charismatic. So the next time you want to take your charisma to the next level, share something to make a more human connection. Okay, I'm sure if I came on these scopes every single night and was just quite robotic in everything that I kind of said and was like, right, go and lead your life like this, go and do this, this is great, bye, and signed off, you're not really going to trust me. You know, people, you know, were asking me the other night whether, you know, when we're talking about kind of dealing with mindset and whether we had a fixed mindset or a growth mindset and how people deal with negativity, and they're going, oh, well, you know, loads of people say to me, they go, oh, but you always seem so happy all the time. You know, do you ever have any negative thoughts? I'm like, oh my God, like, you know, all the time, like every single day I will come across hurdles that I've got to get across. And I'm like super happy to talk about my vulnerabilities to people, and I include a load of them in Bulletproof Actor in the mindset course that's coming up. But it gains people's trust because they go, you know what, he's just human. It's that human connection. If we try and come across as just complete, you know, invincible robots, you're just like, well, they're not really real, these guys. You know, it's just not, you know, it's just not the same. Which is kind of why, I guess, on X Factor, going back to X Factor, we love the stories where people have really faced adversity that maybe we can relate to. Whether that's been manufactured by the X Factor producers or not, I don't know. But when we can relate to these people more and go, wow, I can see myself in their shoes. I used to be like that, or I got through that. You know, if you're going through an illness that a friend's already been through and has gotten through, and you go out for a coffee and that friend is there saying, look, you know, I've been through this, I know what it's like. How much more do you relate to that person and trust them? When I remember when my dad died, a lot of my friends were coming around and they were going, oh, I understand, mate, you know, it must be terrible. And really, I was thinking, you don't really understand, because I was only 24 and all my mates, all their parents, they you know, most of them, I think all of them practically, out of my close circle of friends, they all had their mum and their dad. So they hadn't lost a parent, and yet the people who came to me who had, and they were quite a bit older than me, some people I worked with who were in the 40s and had lost parents just because they were later in life, they were the people that I related to so much more at that time, because we both, well, I was going through something that they'd already been through, and I knew they could relate to it. So if you want to come across as really charismatic and likable, if you can find some common ground that you both have, you know, with somebody that will, you know, put you on a par with that situation that they've been through, then that's really good as well. And instantly people will trust you because they're like, you're authentic, this guy's genuine, you know, I get him, and I trust him. And we all ultimately want to work with people who we like and trust. Give me some hearts if you would rather work with somebody who you like and trust as opposed to someone who's more talented. Let me know what you think, because I know what my answer will be. As I say, people's talent will take them to places that their character cannot keep them. And that's really, like, you know, that's like super, super dangerous. Because I see people who are really talented and sometimes are just idiots. And I'm like, it's only a matter of time until someone finds you out, catches you out, you'll upset somebody, and that'll be it for you. So you need to be really, really careful. But if you want to be likable and charismatic in an instant, according to me and Chris Stone anyway, 1, you need to be present. Absolutely, remember that, be present. 2, you need to listen. Put your phones away and just listen to each other, engage, hold eye contact, you know, back up those things that they have said to you as well by using so statements. So if Chris goes through a whole thing about, he did before, Chris went through a thing before about storytelling and how he writes a script. I wrote some notes here, Chris, And he was telling me, for your character, you know, for an audience to feel that they like the character has to have 2 of these 5 things, and they have to have power, so they're good at their job in a nice way. We have to have sympathy with them because something unjust has happened to the character or they've faced a loss. Humour, because they're funny. Likeability, because of, you know, previous appearances that they've had in other stuff, if we know them as a character and other things. And jeopardy, so the risk that they're in. You know, I would then go, you know, to show that I'd listen to Chris, one of my lecturers is very talented, but he's a dick. Or me. Yeah, see, that's what we don't want. So if I was having this conversation with Chris, he'd told me about these 5 things. For me to come across more likeable and charismatic, I'd use a so statement and go, oh, okay, Chris, so, power, sympathy, humour, likeability, jeopardy. Proves that I've been listening, it proves that I've invested in it, I believe what he's saying, I trust him. Instantly, I'm more charismatic and I'm likeable. Okay, so use so statements as well when you're listening to people. Third thing, gain trust by getting personal. Don't go get completely personal if you go into an audition and you don't know the people and tell them your deepest, darkest secrets. But definitely, over time, open up. No, you're not. I can't remember what's that referring to, Chris. I don't know what it means. I don't know what comment you're referring to. So yeah, so that's it for tonight, guys. Really, and just thinking of those 3 things: being present, listening, and gaining trust through being personal. I think the most important one of all of those is just be present. If you be present, then the other things will, more charismatic, Chris said, then the other things, like the so statement, if Ash says, yeah, definitely. It's just backing stuff up, like, you know, the so statement's really, you know, really powerful to just show that you have listened. If a director gives you a piece of direction, don't just go, yeah, I'll do that. Go, no, if they go, okay, in this scene we want to show this, you go, so, we're looking to do this, you know, and back it up. It shows you've been listening. He's going to have more trust in you, more faith in you. He's not going to be looking for holes, because he'll be thinking, did he understand that? I don't know if he understood it. Yes, give a so statement to show you've understood it, and you will be way more likeable and way more charismatic. Let me know what your thoughts, if there's anything you would add to that as well, because there are only 3 things. We just had a literally 30-minute phone call before, me and Chris, to come up with those, but 3 things that we come up with. What about your things? Give us a couple of suggestions, anything that you think makes somebody charismatic and likeable. You know, above and beyond those things, let us know. See if people have any comments. Also, just to remind people, I said at the start, smile. You know what, Nina? Yeah, boom, appearance. You know, smiling, I go into this in quite, eye contact, great one. I go into smiling quite a lot in Bulletproof Actor. Unstoppable Confidence, Infinite Success, which is coming out later this month. Go to bulletproofactor.com. Positivity, good one. Smiling is really powerful. They've done loads of studies on smiling, and smiling itself can lower your blood pressure. It obviously alters your outer appearance so that you attract more happy people into your life. You know, like attracts like. It will, it lowers your blood pressure. It lowers stress levels, and they did a study on, I don't know if I said this before, on yearbook photographs in America over like a 50-year period, and they went and looked at some people in their yearbook who had smiling, real smiling, called a Duchenne smile. It's not a fake smile where you got that. It's not smiling. It's a real smile where it engages the orbital muscles around your eyes, and it's, you know, you can see somebody smiling through their eyes. They studied these yearbooks of the people who had that kind of smile, ability to laugh at oneself, yeah, and they then sort of measured their success in life over 50 years, and they found the people who had smiled the most in their yearbook photos, real smiles, had gone on to lead far happier, more successful lives in every area: relationships, career, you know, health. Smiling's a massive deal, and I go into that quite a lot in Bulletproof Actor. Here's Unit 1 again, for those who missed it on Friday, and Book Club. Oh, it's a beautiful thing. But yeah, smiling's a big one. Definitely. Eye contact, someone said as well, which is a great one as well. We're going to be talking more about mindset on Friday, guys. Like I said, I mentioned this at the beginning. If you've not got this book yet, you don't need to buy it, you know, because I read excerpts from it in Book Club, Friday Book Club, Bulletproof Book Club. But if you want to read the lot, because obviously it's quite a bit bigger than what I can read on a couple of scopes, then get yourself over on Amazon and get it for Friday, because I'm going to be reading a little bit more of it through the week, and then I'm going to be doing a recap on Friday with some more key takeaway points from the book. So if you're interested in expanding your mind and developing what's called a growth mindset as opposed to a fixed mindset. A growth mindset basically looks at life in a far healthier way than a fixed mindset when things are going wrong, particularly. And get the book. I'm quite a smiley person, says Kim. I like to spread a smile a bit, like you'll think big idea, Ross. Yeah, it's nice to, you know, and I hope you guys pass this information on to people as well. When you've been on these scopes. I know I had an email off Laura who said that it really helped out a few people at a school through doing some of the exercises that were shown on here. Because this is empowering you guys. It's the most important thing. It has a ripple effect. So, you know, I can hopefully inspire a few of you who can then go on and inspire a few more, who then might go on and pass it on to 1 or 2 more people or 3 more people or whatever. So spread the word. And if you're not part of the Bulletproof Actor Facebook group yet, guys, come and join that. It's facebook.com/groups/Bulletproof Actor. Request to join. You're going to get a lot out of it if you are an actor. If you're not an actor, just come and have some crack anyway. It's good fun. Oh, I do indeed. I make sure all my classmates know. Awesome. So it's good. Yeah, pass it on. So that's it for tonight, guys. I'll be back on Wednesday. And I have no idea what we're going to talk about. It will be another thing that I probably just come up with a few hours before the scope, as this phone call with Chris spawned tonight's topic. If you've got any ideas for topics, then Facebook me on the Facebook group or tweet me. It's @RossAGrant. You can let me know your suggestions, and I will happily oblige to cover anything that people suggest. So that's it. If you enjoyed yourselves, give us some hearts. If you're watching the replay, thank you so much for watching the replay as well. If you're interested in the upcoming mindset course I've been talking about, go to bulletproofactor.com, get your invite. I'm going to be sending out invites to that later on this month. Cheers, Tracy. Thanks for showing up. Really appreciate everybody for being here. Keep smiling. Thanks, Nina. I will, definitely. You too. Good luck with the voice reel. Get that sent out now. Get yourself some voiceover work. Without a doubt. Not doing any more voiceover workshops till January, so I'm not going to be able to train anybody for quite a while. Cheers, Hitesh. You keep it up too, man. Keep showing up. Really appreciate it. Thanks, Girly Whirly. Thanks, Kim, for always showing up and almost always reminding me to plug the USB charger in, bar tonight. But luckily, I remembered. Awesome, guys. Thanks so much. Appreciate all of you. You're all amazing, and I will see you on Wednesday. Cheers, Gemma. I'll be Skyping you in the morning, Gemma, for your voice reel at 11 AM, I think. So thanks ever so much. I will speak to you guys soon. Bye for now.